by power of attorneys, regular outside of tax power of attorneys. So, he signed power of attorney and, you get the document that says they're in control, a lawyer drafted it up. I found out that does not count for the IRS. It doesn't give you authorization to sign under penalties of perjury for an actual tax
So
return.
you're supposed
So
to,
you have to get an actual 20. So there's two things you need to get. The person has to sign a form 56. Have you seen that before?
I sent one in this regard. They sent it back and they said he's already got power of attorney.
Yeah, it's still got to have it on file. And that's where, back to the IRS, you have to treat them like third graders because they do things wrong all the time. So for that, you need a form 56, notice of fiduciary, and then that makes them the actual fiduciary. And then in addition to the form 56, you need a form 2848 signed. So I would have both of those in order for somebody to sign for somebody that's still living.
Very confusing doing the form 56 because basically if the person that they're acting on behalf of isn't passed away, it seems very confusing how to fill the form out. Like it shouldn't be that confusing, but I felt the form was confusing.
I can pull it up.
That I read that. I filled out, I've never done one before. So in this situation, I did fill out the fiduciary form and then the IRS sent it back to him and said, and I wonder if I still have it here.
Yeah, so that's where there's boxes for it on authority. And there's an actual box for court appointment as guardian or conservator. So they don't have to be passed away. So it depends on if they went to court or not, if they're a guardian or conservator. If they are not, if the actual court wasn't involved, you would check box G other and describe that they have power of attorney.
That's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I did. I marked G other, it's durable power of attorney.
Mm-hmm.
So it was signed by the person. It wasn't court invoked. Like he did it his own. He turned everything over. I got a letter back from the IRS that says, do not use form 56 if you are notifying the IRS that you are authorized representative of the taxpayer. Instead, use form 2848.
Yeah, but they won't. Here's the funny thing. They won't process a 2848 without the form 56. So go figure on that one. Yeah, if you send in a 2848 without a 56, then they'll kick back the 2848.
So I should have sent a 2848 along with the form 56?
Correct. Yep. Yeah, you got to have that 2848. So the 2848 is the only thing that allows them to actually sign a tax return. So depending on who you get and if they actually know the law or not. See, that's the problem. Have I gotten 2848s through without a form 56? Yep. Have I gotten 56s through without a 28 or gotten the 2848 through without a form 56? Yes. Have I gotten a form 56 through without a 2848? Yes.
So if he sends
But
in a
both should go through.
So if he sends in a 2848, how does he sign it? The 2848 is for the person, the taxpayer.
Yeah, the taxpayer signs the 2848.
He can't.
Well, he'll sign under the durable power of attorney. Yeah. Yeah, that's where the form 56 comes in. So, he'll put the taxpayer's name on top, him as the responsible party, and then he'll sign the bottom as
the responsible party.
Bob Smith by brother, POA.
And then is that's not made an indefinite thing? That has to be refiled every so often, or?
Yeah, you got to put the years. I mean, you can put a couple future years out on it.
Okay.
It's a pain.
Well, I've just been having him sign it and
Yeah, you could have him sign a new one every year when he gets the taxes done. That's easy. See, a Form 56 is ongoing. You have to, there's the difference though, is you can get a new 2848 for that tax year signed every year. And that way that'll up it for the new tax year. Form 56 is in place until you file another Form 56 that says that you're no longer the fiduciary. So it's a one-time form. And then actually, like when you close out an estate, you have to file another Form 56 notifying the IRS that it's finished. So Form 56 is ongoing. You only file one, but the 2848, you got to get a new one signed every year.
oh, I
for
guess
that
I'm
tax year.
totally confused then, because I sent in the Form 56 and they sent it back.
They
So
can do
how
that.
am I supposed to
I
get
would
it?
submit it again with the 2848.
Okay, all right,
And this is really only gonna, this is, and sometimes you can only do the best you can do. So that, you know, as long as your paperwork's in order, you just don't want to get sued. You don't want later on he dies and, you know, that person stole the refund from the tax return. And then it turns out that he didn't even have the authority to sign the tax return. You should have caught that. So fire up the E&O insurance.
okay. Thank
You know, so that's what you're doing, whether the IRS processes it properly or not.
Okay.
Because you're only going to need that in effect with the IRS to get transcripts or to handle audit or things of that nature. So you do the best you can do and make sure all of your T's are crossed and I's are dotted so that you're legally protected. Engagement letter, you know, that the person is signing with you that says, I do have this authority to do this. You know, if you have an engagement letter with the brother, you know, the copy of the actual power of attorney, and then a signed 2848 and a signed Form 56, you're covered. That person has authority to sign that tax return.
Well, I'm glad that I brought that up because I thought I'd done something wrong because I'd never done a Form 56 before. And according to what you just said, it's filled out perfectly fine. They
Yeah.
just sent it back.
Correct.
So,
That can happen.
okay. All
I
right.
got an offer in compromise sent back to me from the IRS, and they actually put on the thing that says the check you sent with it that had the memo description of payment wasn't a payment, but you marked it as payment. So here's the whole thing back because you didn't submit your payment.
Okay.
Yeah. No clue. I couldn't even wrap my head around the circle logic on that. Yeah, it literally said, thank you for your payment. It's not a payment. So we're sending everything back.
I gotta turn my camera off for a second.
Yeah, not a problem. Are you still listening though? Because I got one more thing on the medical.
Yep.
Okay.
You know, if you want to get good at something, you have to hang out with people that are good at that thing. If you want to be big, buff, and strong, you have to hang out with people that are big and strong. You have to eat what they eat. You have to do what they do. If you want to be successful, it's the same way. You want to hang out with people that are successful in their tax business and that you can learn from and that you can emulate.